Good evening, and thanks for joining us on the program Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria. I'm your regular host, Gabriel Ojile. One of the major side attractions at the 45th meeting of the National Council on Agriculture and Rural Development was the exhibition of agricultural technologies and innovations as designed and produced by research institutes in Nigeria. These products underscored the role of research in agricultural development and was an eye-opener into the volume of work being carried out in our institutions and which are tailored to meet our needs as a nation. On this episode of Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria, we shall showcase these technologies as exhibited during the council meeting and the impact these technologies would have in agricultural production, processing, and marketing if put into use. Join me after the break for the full program.
That will provide the necessary policy direction that will truly position agriculture as the mainstay of our economy.
The federal government is removing obstacles and offering opportunities for self-employment, wealth creation, and food security in the Nigeria's agricultural sector.
Think farming, think agriculture.
Watch Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria, showing on NTA Fridays at 8:30 p.m.
Let us start the program with news about the ministry and its functionaries, as well as agricultural-related matters. In our lineup tonight, Executive Secretary ARCN talks of possibility of ending the strike by research institutes, just as Plateau State government calls for investment in agriculture in the state. Details shortly. Keep watching. The Executive Secretary of Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, Professor Hamidu Sharubutu, has expressed the hope that the over 7-month strike embarked upon by the researchers in the nation's research institutes across the country will soon be called off as efforts have been intensified to resolve the issues with the striking union. Sharubutu disclosed this in an interview with our correspondent in Jos on the sidelines of the 45th meeting of the National Council on Agriculture and Rural Development. Sharubutu commended the researchers for not grounding the technologies despite being on strike, while appealing to the authorities concerned to speed up efforts to end the strike.
Yes, they have gone on strike, but the research institutes are on strike with human face. Human face because they hold very delicate materials. The germplasm, if it is lost, the whole research is gone. So they are on this strike with human face, and that is why as a regulator, I'm also calling on government to have a human face in dealing with them. They have not grounded our research institutes because they know of the sensitivity of the germplasm and the materials they are holding. Now we are negotiating with them. We have gone to the first level with the Honorable Minister, Dr. Mahmoud Abubakar. We have discussed with them. They have laid the problem before them. Now he has also presented his issue before the head of service because some of the issues are at the level of the head of service. He has also presented the issue before the National Assembly because some of the issues are before the National Assembly. And he has met with the Accountant General of the Federation because of their arrears. Now you can see that things are happening. Now just last week, the Ministry of Labour has called us together. We have sat down together with them, and I can tell you that very shortly, with the human face that our researchers are giving, with the human face that we are calling on the government to show, this problem is going to be resolved very soon.
Recall that the Joint Research and Allied Institutions Sector Union, JRESU, embarked on strike over issues of non-payment of 12 months arrears, issues of funding of research, wage adjustment, among other issues. The Plateau State Commissioner of Agriculture and Rural Development, Hosea Estefanos Finangwe, has called on local and foreign investors to invest in the agricultural sector of the state. The Honorable Commissioner made this call in an interview with our correspondent in Jos during the 45th meeting of the National Council on Agriculture and Rural Development. Estefanos stated that the climatic condition of Plateau State supports the production of some exotic crops like strawberry, Irish potatoes, among others, which investors can take advantage of.
By the virtue of the altitude and the weather, you will discover that Plateau State has a near temperate weather. The implication is that our farmers have the potential, and the Plateau State itself has the potential to produce exotic crops that can never be produced elsewhere. Exotic crops like Irish potato. 90% of the potato it consumed in Nigeria comes from Plateau State. You have other vegetables like broccoli, you have apples, you have grapefruits, you have assorted vegetables like cabbages, you also have like lettuce and the rest that are produced from Plateau State. So generally, we have the comparative advantage of producing these crops because we are the suppliers. We produce and supply the nation. So that is the advantage and the potential we have that can never be competed for in any part of this country.
Modern agriculture is driven by technologies and innovations. Having the knowledge of these technologies and how they function is very crucial for farmers, processors, and marketers of agricultural products. This is why the custodians of agricultural technologies and innovations came out in their numbers during the 45th meeting of the National Council on Agriculture and Rural Development to showcase and make them available for farmers and other users. In our next segment, we are showcasing an area of agricultural technologies and innovations. Do stay tuned.
On the sidelines of the 45th meeting of the National Council on Agriculture and Rural Development, participants embarked on a tour of the National Root Crops Research Institute, Veterinary Research Institute, and the College of Land Resources, all in Jos, to see the progress made by the Institute for the development of agriculture in Nigeria. Aside the tour of the Institute, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Ernest Afolabi Umahihe, also led a team of stakeholders to the exhibition stand in Langfield Leisure Park in Jos Plateau State. Researchers, farmers, processors, and marketers exhibited their technologies and agricultural produce. Research institutes like National Veterinary Research Institute, Nigerian Stock Products Research Institute, National Horticultural Research Institute, and National College of Land Resources, National Animal Production Research Institute, among others, showcase their technologies for all to see.
Once the heat is much, this one will regulate it by opening this place. And
the National Veterinary Research Institute, NRI from Plateau State, showcased its kerosene incubator, which is used for hatching eggs for poultry production.
This is the heating system, and this is the regulator. We have the thermostat inside this incubator. Once the heat is much, this one will regulate it by opening this place, and the heat will come out of this place. Once the temperature is okay, then it will close itself again. This is what we call the regulator. We have where we are going to put your egg here, on this tray here. You can see these are the trays that you'll be able to line up your eggs here. Then we have, oh sorry, this place is locked. Here is where you'll be able to put your water inside here, and it has something like a foam inside where it retains water for the relative humidity that it will be able to enhance the hatching of the egg.
Aside egg hatching technology, NVRI has also developed a vaccine called Gumboro vaccine, which is used by poultry farmers to vaccinate their birds against infectious bursa diseases that affect chickens within 3 to 6 weeks, and if left unvaccinated, causes high mortality rate in chicken.
This one is what we call the Gumboro, infectious bursa disease. So it prevents your birds from coming down with infectious bursa disease. And this is the vaccine. Once you vaccinate, you don't have problem. If not, if you didn't vaccinate, you will see that you lose almost about 80 to 90% of your birds.
The National Stock Products Research Institute had on display an ice fish box and dryer for fish preservation, a technology that will ameliorate the losses incurred by fish farmers, fishermen, and fish sellers.
This is a Nespray ice fish box. It's technology for storage of fish, fresh fish. We have fresh fish and the ice block. This can last up to 48 hours without any quality deterioration. We have fish, the fish that we have here now, presently, the fish has been kept here since Monday. That's about 2 days ago, and you can still see the quality of the fish. So the technology has provision for draining of the melted ice. So you raise it up and the water comes out. If you have any melted ice from the box, then you close it back. This can last for 48 hours without any quality deterioration. And if you want to store it further, you just change the ice and add more to the ice. Then for the smoking cane, we have an arrangement of 5 trays for drying. Then we have the oil collector. This collects the oil as the fish dries, and the oil moves through the tray to a point here where it could be collected into a container, and the oil can be used in the pharmaceutical company.
Aside the technology for fish preservation, Anspree has also developed good packaging techniques for fish, as well as humidifier drums for the preservation of grains and other agricultural produce. Farmers and agribusiness people can use them for storage business. The Institute has also developed Parabolic solar dryer for communities, clusters of farmers and individual farmers, so that they can avoid contamination of agricultural produce during drying.
This is a Parabolic solar dryer. This one was developed to address community drying of products. If you move around the country, you will see people drying products along the road, spread along the road. As the vehicle moves, the vehicle raises dust, it drops on the product. The reptile can come, they hit and drop their feces and their urine on top. And the owner will come back, pack them, and still mill it and consume it, consuming a lot of poison. So in order to address this, we come up with this technology. This can be constructed in the community where different people can come and bring their products and store it and dry it. The issue of rain is about to fall. Let me pack my product. It's no longer there. The issue of contamination is no longer there. You dry and produce hygiene product using this dryer.
The National Horticultural Research Institute is another institute that showcased her technologies during the 45th meeting of the National Council on Agriculture and Rural Development for adoption by the relevant stakeholders in the agricultural value chain. Aside researching into the production of her mandate crops such as mango, pineapple, orange, tomatoes, among other crops, NIHOT has been able to discover technologies which results in more production and value addition of mandate crops.
This is about pesticide, NIHOT Ratkin, a technology developed locally, and it has been shown to be effective against the control of Tuta absoluta, the popular tomato Ebola that ravaged and is still ravaging tomato farms in Nigeria. We also have our Tuta tray, where the farmer can just put in the middle of the farm and it will trap these insects. And here on our table we have an array of products. We have our teas, we call them Antioxidant Teas. They have been developed from our fruits and vegetables. Ginger, Simbocitra, that's lemongrass, Sabdarifa, that's zobo leaf, and they are very beneficial for health.
As a research institute, NIHOT expects private players to popularize the technologies, as the institute is willing to release the technology to whoever wants to go into production or processing of the mandate crops.
We would usually advise that you come to us or write to us, email us, give us a phone call, and we can work with you. Like I said, we have substations all around the country. We have here in Jos, we have in Imo State, Mbato, we have in Gombe, we have in Kano. So at least you will find one of our substations very close to you. That, in fact, sometimes we have to visit your farm, take soil samples and see, is this appropriate for what you want to do? So I would say that please work with us right from when you are conceptualizing the idea, and we will walk you through even up to the market level.
The Federal College of Land Resources also showcased technologies developed locally for cleaning of grains after harvest.
This is grain cleaner. And instead of using hand to window or to clean your grain, but what you need to do, you just pour your grains inside this hopper. As you pour your grain in the hopper here, all the shaft will be removed through this outlet here. And we have the other outlet under. All the clean greens will not be collecting under here. And that is how the thing operated. And this is a archer separator. You put your archer here. Here, this is blower. This blower assists. This blower here assists to remove the shaft. The shaft will be collected on this outlet here. Then the real archer that have been squeezed, it will not be what? Collect out from this outlet. This is what we refer to as, because as the name written here, archer separators.
Furthermore, the college has also developed groundnut oil extractor, which was also displayed for processors to enhance the processing and extraction of groundnut oil. The permanent secretary speaks on the level of technological innovations and the role the ministry will play to popularize the technology.
From what I've seen, I think Nigeria has enormous potential. It's just how to take advantage of what we already have. As we see it, it's like this, what they have here is still in the laboratory stage. So we need pilot approach to it before we virtually commercialize and ensure that a lot of industries keen into this initiative we've seen here. It's a lot, massive.
The Executive Secretary, Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, Professor Hamidu Sharubutu, who also chaired the exhibition arena, said efforts are in progress to establish skill-off companies in Nigeria to enhance adoption of these technologies for processing and value addition of agricultural produce.
As we are now, because of the slow pace of adoption of our technologies, the President Muhammadu Buhari, has granted us the permission to establish what we call spin-off companies. These spin-off companies are supposed to operate in collaboration with stakeholders like the private organization. That's the more reason why you can see that our research institutes have come here in numbers, so that they will be able to interact with all the stakeholders in order for us to pave way for them.
The program is transforming agriculture in Nigeria, and we have been showcasing technologies developed by Nigeria Research Institutes across the country, which were exhibited during the 45th meeting of the National Council on Agriculture and Rural Development, which took place in Jos, the Plateau State capital. Aside the research institutes, there were private sector stakeholders that showcased their products and contributions to the development of the agricultural value chain activities. Let us see some of them in our next segment and keep watching.
Improved agricultural seeds developed by research institutes are high-yielding, drought and flood tolerant, healthy and highly nutritious. While the federal government, through the National Agricultural Seeds Council of Nigeria, regulates seeds production, the private sector players collaborate with the council and research institutes to produce certified seeds for Nigerian farmers. One of such seed companies that exhibited their seeds is Romari Venture Nigerian Limited.
From his...
The managing director and chief executive of the company, Nathaniel Longmont, speaks on the importance of using improved seeds.
When you are producing crop and you want to get the best out of it, the best thing is that get high quality seed as number one. Because from this high quality seed, you can raise your production capacity 5-6 times more than the old seeds that you used to get.
Another private company that showcased its products and services is Fruits Veggies Global Limited, a company that is into research, seed multiplication, processing and packaging of agricultural produce. High-yielding variety of potatoes is one of its successes on display.
If you're using the unimproved seed, at most you get is 2 to 3 tons per hectare of land. But with the improved one, you're talking about 15, 20, 22 tons per hectare. And we're hoping with good agricultural practices, we'll be able to get up to 30. Some countries are making 60 to 70 tons per hectare with improved seed. So we're trying to improve the seed sector so that with time we see how we grow to possibly 50, 40 tons per hectare. That would be good for productivity, and people will be encouraged to go into production because it's money-making business.
Apart from research and multiplication of fruits and vegetable crops, the company is also into packaging of the crops, which adds more value to what they produce. A member of the Potato Farmers Association of Nigeria attests to the health benefits of the new and improved varieties of potatoes.
From research, it has been discovered that these potatoes that we are using now, in fact, will reduce a lot of health challenges that people are facing, because it has been discovered that this potato, it heals the broken down system. Most especially people are suffering from diabetes, hypertension, cancer, ulcer, eye problems, and many others. So when you take this product, which contains fiber and vitamin A, almost about 46 vitamins that are contained in this orange flaked sweet potato. If you take it, I'm assuring you that the system of the body is relying on all these vitamins. And when they are absent, it means the human being system will collapse.
The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development has achieved a lot of successes in capacity building of our staff, clinic facilities, purchase of computer for staff, and overhauling of staff bus, among others. Let us hear from the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Ernest Afolabi Umahihe, in our next segment, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development Scorecard. Keep watching.
With the support of the Honorable Minister, the Ministry's staff clinic was given a new facelift by providing equipment to the tune of some millions, apart from the drug revolving fund of 5 million naira. The clinic is computerized. Staff buses are being overhauled and available for staff. Support for FMAD, which has already commenced and has long provided institutional and staff capacity in agriculture and nutrition improvement locally and in the African sub-region, covering a total package of $1.5 million. Recent procurement of assistive device to persons living with disability in the ministry. The procurement of these affordable modern calipers is to ease the movement of these challenged officers. Sports club members were kitted with new sportswear, as a result of which this year's outing proved to be more rewarding. The team came back from FEBSCA with 13 medals, as against 5 medals of last year.
Indeed, the technologies developed by our research institutions can go a long way to enhance agricultural production, processing, and marketing. The best part being that they are produced by Nigerians, in Nigeria, and for Nigerians. This is the much we can take on this episode. Keep a date with us again, same time, same station next week for another interesting episode of Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria. Remember, if you miss this transmission, you can get it on our social media platforms showing on your screen. Good night.